some heat off of Smith.
119. Michael Gerwen, 167.
Well, there'll be no counter-attack on the bullseye from Michael Smith. Has he done enough there?
49.
Has he? Or has Van Gerwen got another blockbuster early on? Oh, that would have been a real roof raiser
70.
and ribcage tickler. Michael Smith's only going to get one dart at double top, and he's dragged it down. Van Gerwen's early assault has the underdog rattled.
Michael Van Gerwen. Third leg is Michael Van Gerwen to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, I'm sure Michael Van Gerwen's a little bit surprised that he got a second chance there.
108.
And he's going to punish that fact extensively, not just by taking the leg, but taking the whole game right to Smith and try and win this set 3-0.
180.
Unfortunately for Smith, answering the 180 really doesn't do him much good if Van Gerwen doesn't relent.
57.
He has relented.
$134. $134.
Couple of turns exchanged with treble 19s. 130 left for Van Gerwen to win the set.
57.
A certain similarity with the first leg, a 129 on the bull. Will this be a 130 on the bull? It won't. Will it be a 130 on the bull from Michael Smith?
Well, I think he needs it to be a 130 on the bull. He needs to get something going here, not just have to walk off the stage in a couple of seconds' time.
40. Michael Gerwen, 65.
Too accurate. Only get one dart now at double four. Oh, just inside. That would have been the first set and a whitewash.
90.
And a chance for Smith to do some punishment of his own here. We'll have just the one dart at bull. And it's a fantastic dart. So Smith, his first successful double of the final is also a bullseye, as Van Gerwen did in the first leg. So not a lot of wriggle room on the warm-up here, Rod.
140.
Well, I think you can guarantee with Michael Smith, he won't chuck in the towel
93.
in the match, in a set, or in a leg. Remember, that was a leg that Van Gerwen started with a maximum, which Smith followed. Van Gerwen missed a dart at double, but Michael Smith was not deterred. Can he force this set into a final leg?
Well, he's got a bit of a lead here, but he can't feel like that. He can't allow himself to relax. He has to press on and make sure he gets it done in 6. Down to 81, so job done on that half of it. But this man's coming fast behind him.
138.
Leaves that 130 again. He likes those. Double 12 for 2-2. No help with that.
69. Michael Gerwen, 130.
Just a little too desperate looking there.
2 treble 20s leaves double 5.
120.
That's 2 set darts gone here for Van Gerwen.
12.
One in this leg, one in the previous leg. Double 3 to send it all the way, and he does send it all the way, Michael Smith. Now then, well, a set that seemed all over 3 minutes ago is now back in the melting pot.
177.
Exactly the sort of darts you expect from the world number 1.
134.
A bit of a break there on a bit of an unlucky deflection. 110 Van Gerwen averaging, 102 Smith. But those don't matter. This leg matters.
131.
Well, 5 points ahead. And Van Gerwen effectively went off with a maximum of 177,
137.
but he just keeps landing the haymakers.
Yeah, 140 needed here, and well, he can't leave a finish after that one. Oh, he has, sorry, excuse me. Will it matter? Treble 20, double 12 for set number 1.
80. Michael 155.
Set darts coming and going for Van Gerwen. Oh, and if Smith had taken that out, that would have been
97.
a real turning point early on in the final. But as it is, Van Gerwen has 3 now at double 12. It's another one gone. Not that one though, and he eventually gets over the line, but he was made to work very hard in that set. It seemed it was going to be a breeze for the world number 1 and heavy favourite, but Michael Smith made him work. He let him know he was around, and Gerwen takes the opening set. Smith with the darts when we come back.
Gotta pick your boots up on the floor. Come and tell me, are you ready? Are you ready for more? And some of y'all loving, but it's not enough. Getting tripping, baby, pouring on me. I wanna drink the good stuff.
The world final between the world number 1, Michael Van Gerwen, and the underdog, Michael Smith. And it's Van Gerwen who has taken the opening set. He opened up with a 1-2-9 bull finish and closed with a double 6 to win that set by 3 legs to 2. But Michael Smith let him know he was around in legs 3 and 4. First to 7 sets, will be crowned champion here on New Year's Day 2019. It's not easy coming in to play your first World Final. In recent years, Lewis and Cross managed to win at their first attempt, but there's been many good players who've had to pay their dues and do their apprenticeship by losing one before winning, and they include Van Gerwen, who lost to Taylor in 2013 before beating Wright the following year, and then Anderson in 2017. Both players will take something from that first set, won't they, John? Obviously, Van Gerwen took it, so he's got the lead. But Michael Smith can take some positives from it. He didn't capsize.
Well, yeah, the best thing about it really is it was Van Gerwen's advantage in the set, so that's one positive for Smith. It's not like it was a failure. The second is now he does have the throw, and he could come back and level this match 1-1. It really is important, I think, for him to hold his throw, if you will, in terms of the set, and get the scoreline to 1-1. He doesn't want to become a chaser because he's not been down the 2 sets at any point. You don't want to have to try and figure that out against Michael Van Gerwen.
Van Gerwen continues the run of the tournament of winning the first set, as he did against Taban, Hopp, Lewis, Joyce and Gary Anderson. Losing a solitary set in every single one of those matches.
134.
Yeah, so if this is your free set, Michael Smith, take it now.
134. Michael Uruguay, 167.
Treble 19 to leave the ball for a biggie.
142.
Well, now we've got Van Gerwen leaving the trademark 170, which he's already taken out once this week. That was against Hopp.
90. Michael Uruguay, 25.
2 tens.
15. Michael Uruguay, 80.
Oh, he just senses the opportunity. He's just eager to get there. Double 10. I couldn't see any other result.
Second leg is Michael Van Gerwen to throw first. Game on.
Couldn't see any other result. Michael Smith, he really can't afford to give that sort of chance again at any point.
No, those are the exact scenarios that Michael Smith would have had nightmares about. Missed the ball okay at the end of a big combination. That can happen, but then to have 2 at his favourite double 10, miss both of them, and his opponent then to go out on that self-same double with the petard shot, that would bring him out in a cold sweat.
81.
Still, Van Gerwen has not ignited at the start of this leg, and there's a chance for a counter.
100. 139.
And Michael Van Gerwen to me looks so composed, relaxed, and a day at the office-ish.
Nice office.
100.
I think he looked a lot iffier, Van Gerwen, in the first set.
96.
He looked more aggressive and more like it was urgency in this game. Now he's settled in already, just to 1 set up. And the break of throw up here.
Well, he's made this place his office. He's won 15 of the last 16 matches he's played on this stage. Great dart, double 18 for another 3-figure out shot, and he's now piled in a 1-2-6 to go alongside the 1-2-9 that came in the opening leg of the match. When you consider that in his previous 5 games, Van Gerwen had a total of 7 3-figure out shots. Now in 7 legs here, he's knocked in another 2. He means business.
$136.
Yeah, we see the level of play. 107. Sure, Michael would like to play even better. Get it up a little higher if he's looking at these averages sneakily on the screen as he comes back, and he is. I just saw him looking. Well, yeah, you have a little work to do, Michael Van Gerwen.
Well, it was against Michael Smith, of course, in Aberdeen in February 2016 that he stunned the world of darts with that 123.4 average. And there's his second maximum.
I don't know if it's the best
82.
idea
Mike Leary, 130.
to look at your averages while you're trying to win a game, but this man loves it. It's a bullseye.
105. Mike Leary, 86.
Well, we saw Smith miss the ball for a 167. We've seen Van Gerwen miss the ball there. Now Smith wants double 16, and it's a real must hit, and it is hit.
Michael Smith.
Now,
Michael Van Gerwen to throw
can he
first.
do what he did in the first set and come from 2-0 down to force it into a fifth leg shootout? And in this case, if he can, by breaking the Van Gerwen throw, he
97.
would have the darts in the fifth and final leg.
And this time it's a little harder, though. He's against throw here. You know, and he was scrambling just to hold his throw as it was. He needs to get his scoring heavier. He's got to outscore Van Gerwen, not just score as well as him. Because Van Gerwen's been finishing better, timing-wise.
180.
Talking of timing, well, that gives Smith a squeak here now. He's going to need another couple of trebles, at least big trebles. Well, there's two. And that's enough to put him on a 1-2-1 out, which is what he took out to win his semi-final.
98. Mike Leary,
Now this is the chance he's crafted. Needs to take these sorts of opportunities. Treble 17. No, so Van Gerwen can take the set, hold his throw here.
106.
Big moments even early on in the piece. Treble 17, that would have left the ball. That was the only route available.
38.
Well, extraordinary, unexpected.
72.
Not that he missed the finish, but that he missed it so poorly. Double 12 for Michael Smith. Oh, Michael.
Mike Leary, 68.
That's 10 darts he's missed at double in the match. We're only in the second set. It might be the end of the second set. It is. And Michael Van Gerwen pulls the curtain down on that set. Michael Smith had his chances there. It looked like he had crafted the opportunity to break back. He really had, but he couldn't hit the double when it really mattered, and Van Gerwen did. And now there's daylight between the two players. 2-0, Van Gerwen. for the darting diary.
The atmosphere has got up a notch or two.
Michael Smith, a world champion in waiting. Michael van Gerwen, the world #1, proves that he is the #1. We now have a match. That's high voltage darts. Oh my word! That is A-grade finishing. Welcome back to the World Darts Championship final, where Michael van Gerwen has the early advantage in this match. He leads by 2-0. It's a race to 7 sets to be crowned champ here on New Year's Day in London. Well, Michael Smith had chances in those sets, didn't take them. Van Gerwen 50% on the double. His tournament stats on the double 46%. Michael Smith very similar over the tournament, 45% just under. But tonight, 3 out of 13, 23%, and it's not just the number of darts at double you miss, it's when you miss them.
Well, through much of this match, Rod, the scoring segment's been sort of the same to me. They've been set at the same level. And just a little bit near the end of that last set, Smith's scoring came up above where Van Gerwen was performing, and you could see a little bit of stress and worry in Van Gerwen. He got away with it, yes, but I think Smith, if he forgets about missing doubles, he can be all right here. He just needs to start consistently outscoring Van Gerwen and wear him down in that manner, and eventually he'll start getting his doubles.
Yep.
Because that's the strength of Smith's game, in my mind.
Well, the legs you lose when you have first throw at a double are the ones that really gnaw away at you. And there have been those legs, particularly in that last set, the first leg of the last set and what turned out to be the last leg when he missed 2 at double 12 to send it into a 5th leg. Anyway, that's gone. He can't change what's gone, he can only affect the future.
100. I give it 134.
And Gerwen here looking at another big outshot. He's already had 2 three-figure outshots. Doesn't need to worry about it this time as he leaves tops.
Well, a 170 would be good to leave tops himself,
98.
but looks a bit irrelevant. The comfort level of this man. Oh, a little surprise there in his eyes at the first dart, but he uses the second dart masterfully to ensure the third dart is in.
Well, he hasn't been the best at tops in this tournament, Van Gerwen. Before tonight, he hit it 15 times in 41 attempts, which is below his average on all the other doubles. But anyway, he got it done.
100.
Last dart in hand, the 2 misses don't really matter. Well, that's 3 darts below the treble, which is usually the sign of nerves or tension in the arm. Understandable, mind you.
Well, yeah, it's something he can't afford, though. I was just saying, if there's anything where he can really bring himself back into the game, it's the scoring phase, and he has to believe he's a better scorer than the Dutchman, and he doesn't look like he believes that at the moment.
He's had more maximums in the tournament, that's for sure. 51 to Van Gerwen's 32 before tonight. 54 plays 34 now, with Smith leading 3-2 on 180s tonight. But Van Gerwen, who averaged 108 in the first set, has dropped off, as you can see in this set, to average a mere 90, but it's not making any difference because his opponent has dropped.
Yeah, he's quite typically doing as he needs to do.
Well, John, in every set, Van Gerwen has led 2-0. And I say in every set because I'm expecting him to hit this. So 2-0 in the first set, 1-3-2. 2-0 in the second set, 1-3-1. 2-0 in the third set.
That makes winning sets rather difficult if you're the other guy. So you're suddenly asked to get a set, you need to have 3 legs on the trot.
180.
And as soon as Smith wakes up, the problem is Van Gerwen responds. They Maybe not a full answer, but a too big treble turn. Plenty effective enough when you have the throw.
$59.
Well, the treble 20 would have left the big fish. Smith will leave a finish first.
140. $140. Michael require 124.
Treble 18. Can't find it.
58. Michael require 70.
So 20 for double 16.
38.
And this an opportunity to break that Smith
66.
simply can't afford to miss. It's to keep the set going.
That leaves tops.
Game's on the third leg.
Last dart in hand double top for Michael Smith.
Well, thank you,
Keeps
Michael
the set
Smith.
going, and in a similar
Game on.
pattern to the first two sets where he's won the third leg to keep afloat, having lost the first two. Can he hold and force Van Gerwen to serve it out?
Yeah, he's never lost the third leg.
95.
He needs to move to have them all be third legs. Well, what a roar from Van Gerwen there with that maximum, attacking the throw. Smith wants to snuff out the hopes right
96.
here and now. Because what a difference between 3-0 in sets and 2-1.
93.
Especially with Smith's advantage in the fourth set.
He's got to find a way to win this leg first.
94.
And he's either got to produce some absolute A-grade magic or rely on Van Gerwen with multiple
134.
misses at double, or possibly both.
$56. Michael require
Well, the shoulders slumped because he knows that now Van Gerwen is odds on to have three at a double. Well, Michael Smith
160.
missed double top for this in the Grand Slam game against Van Gerwen. It would have made it 10-all in a race to 11, but he can't find the two trebles this time. Can't find a treble.
Michael require 40.
And he's rather conceded this leg in this set. He's thrown 15 darts to get down to 100. And Van Gerwen has made him pay with a 14-dart break of throw, which wraps up the third set and now puts him 3 in front and almost halfway to the winning post in the twinkling of an eye.
Just have to trust in your scoring if you're Michael Smith. Trust in the fact you have the advantage in this set. Every comeback starts somewhere.
108.
Well, not if Michael Van Gerwen has anything to do with it, with a fourth maximum to tie the maximum count. But the problem now for Michael Smith is that not only is he behind by 3 sets, the awful feeling of the possibility of being whitewashed must be starting to just drift into his mind. But every time it does, he's got to get it out of there pronto.
$96. $58. Michael require 85.
So treble 15. They went for treble 13, and now
44. Michael require 167.
he didn't quite leave a double, but he will be back after Van Gerwen misses that combination.
99. Michael require 41.
Well, important darts here for Michael Smith to get in front in the set for the first time. He wants tops. That's the way to do it. So he leads in a set for the first time. Holding throw.
Well, Smith, he'd dearly love to be able to win this set. Van Gerwen making that as difficult as possible. And, you know, he's been around long enough, Michael Van Gerwen. He's won so much. He could sniff out these comeback ignition points, and he smothers them at every opportunity he can.
99.
But Yeah, Smith would love to win this set. It wouldn't be something he would have set out at the beginning of the match to be 3-1 down after 4. But at this point, it would be a huge moral victory, and he'd think he has a chance still.
Well, when Van Gerwen won the world title for the first time in 2014, he was in total command early. He was threatening to wipe the floor with Peter Wright, but then Snakebite bit back and eventually missed a couple of darts at double to get it back to 6-5. He ultimately lost 7-4, but Snakebite swears to this day that if he got back to 6-5, he really fancied it, fancied the job. So Smith
86.
can certainly just close here to 3-1 and then look to build a base camp from there.
96. Michael Rigoire, 40.
This is becoming rather routine. Double 10.
Game on the second leg, Michael Van Gerwen. Third leg is Michael Smith to throw first. Game on.
And when you keep taking out those 40s, as Van Gerwen is, and your opponent starts to believe he's not going to miss ever, you just start trying too hard to compensate as the opponent.
57.
Just build that fear factor up of falling behind.
58.
Can he get a 6th max? Yes, he can. Good chance to get it, to re-establish control of this third leg of the set, and therefore of the set itself.
140.
Yeah, it's a leg he's never lost, the third leg of a set.
Yep.
Hopefully he can survive us saying so.
Well, again, first to finish.
96. Michael Rigoire, 116.
Got to find the treble above that. Can't. So vulnerable now to a third 3-figure outshot from Van Gerwen in this final. Treble 17. That would have left top. So Smith breathes again. He's going to get 2 darts at tops here.
60.
Yes. He re-establishes the lead in this set. A set he can ill afford to lose. That would put him 4 behind.
96.
Not much of an open from Van Gerwen either. This is where Bully Boy needs to be a bully.
125.
Well, such is the standard that Van Gerwen sets that he's only averaging 102.5.
97.
And Smith probably would have took that at the start of the match. If he said Van Gerwen 102.5, said, okay, you want to play him at that level, he'd say yes. But the problem is that Smith hasn't been able to keep pace with that. We know Van Gerwen could go higher than that. That's, well, it's 5.5 points below his tournament average for Michael Smith.
Here's one for you, Rod. Van Gerwen's actually missed more darts at double than Smith, but his timing has been very, very good. And he's had more opportunities as well.
90. Michael Rigoire, 138.
Well, he will not win the set at this turn,
180.
but he has left himself on his favourite double, if he comes back. If Van Gerwen misses the bull.
Game shot on the fourth leg.
He does not miss the bull.
Fifth leg is Michael Smith to throw
Michael
first.
Smith
Game
now
on.
has got to dig very deep. He was expecting 3 at double 10, or he was hoping for 3 at double 10. Now he's got to win this leg from 501 down.
Well, if is a conditional word, Rod, and I don't think there was any doubt in Van Gerwen's mind he was hitting that bull. He's just very determined.
100.
Fact is, though, that Van Gerwen, even Van Gerwen, misses the bullseye more times than he hits it when he's aiming at it. So Smith could have been at least had the hope of a chance. Now that hope extinguished him, not only in that leg, but possibly the set as well, as Van Gerwen hits his 6th max.
Yeah, anytime you get to 181 after 6 against the throw, you've taken control 90% of those occasions, I'm imagining.
93.
And just enough there to get to an easy 2-dart out shot. Oh, all of these are needed.
140. Michael Uruguay, 88.
This is for a 4-0 lead. Will it be another bullseye finish? Will it be another bullseye finish? Not this time.
51. Michael Uruguay, 140.
That was iffy. So, treble 20 for double 12 for 3-1.
80.
Just too hopeful in the stroke there, not attacking quite enough. So double 16, double 8 for Van Gerwen to be 4-0 up.
21.
He can't believe he's missed it.
Michael Uruguay,
Neither
22.
can Smith, neither can all the audience at the Alley Pally.
Oh, this is a massive dart.
12. Michael Uruguay,
It's a massive
16.
dart because Van Gerwen, for the first time in the final, had shown vulnerability by missing 3 himself for the set. But he will show no more mercy.
Michael Van Gerwen.
It's Michael the Merciless. It's Van Gerwen now, pulling clear. More missed darts at double by Michael Smith, made to pay again as Van Gerwen goes 4-0 in front in this race to 7. Welcome back to the Alexandra Palace. It's the big night. And Michael Smith has missed big chances against Michael van Gerwen, who now has a big lead. An enormous lead, actually. He's 4 sets to 0 up, the world #1, as he closes in on what would be his 3rd World Darts Championship. Van Gerwen has won every set played so far. 4-0 to the Green Machine. He needs a total of 7 to lift the prize again after being knocked out in the semi-final in agonising circumstances by Rob Cross 12 months ago. Well, John Parks has left the commentary box to be joined by Wayne Mardle. Hi Wayne, what do you make of it all?
Well, every big moment that's come and gone, Michael Smith has kind of fluffed his lines
Michael van Gerwen to throw first.
at every turn. Michael van Gerwen, the last 2 sets, has not played particularly well, but he's won them both. That was a really important set for me for Michael Smith. It was a set that he was throwing first, and needless to say, it was 3-1 or 4-0, but he's lacked composure. His scoring hasn't been anywhere near as good as it's been throughout the event. He's missed 14 darts at a double out of 20, 30%. Just nothing's gone his way. The big moments have belonged to Michael van Gerwen, and he's not exactly been setting the board alight.
Yeah, Michael Smith missed 4 darts there at double 12 in the final leg of the last set, which would have got it back to 3-1 if any of them had found the target. But there have been other occasions when he's missed darts at double 10, his favourite. But as Wayne was saying, the scoring has just not been there, and so many darts into the lower cake beneath the treble.
86.
Sure sign that the game is not there for him.
Yeah, a bit like Gary Anderson. Double 12. Well, he can hit double 12. A bit like Gary Anderson against Michael van Gerwen, just slightly off. Even with the last start there, it was awkward from Smith, who's normally so rhythmic. Because he's 4-0 down, doesn't mean that he's going to lose, but averaging 95, he is going to have to improve. That is absolute fact.
Well, as I mentioned
134.
earlier on in 2014, Peter Wright was facing a similar scenario. With Van Gerwen the overwhelming favourite, Wright then was the world #16, Smith world ranked #10 right now, but Snakebite got himself back into the game, didn't he? The Snake went up the ladders and threatened to get it back to 6-5, but how's your luck now? Because that, frankly, is just ridiculous. When you need a break, you get that.
Wow. Gary Anderson had 3 on the floor against Phil Taylor in the final. That wasn't quite as disastrous.
39.
Yeah, Michael van Gerwen is in a fabulous situation of that. There is no doubt. But against Phil Taylor in 2013, he had darts to lead 5-2 in sets. Didn't convert and ended up losing the match. Comebacks are possible, especially when you're as good as this man.
88.
Well, he'll be back for tops to hold, throw.
$112.
Well, he's trying to hit 2 bullseyes there to leave double 8.
He did that against Gary Anderson to leave tops and got away with it. He didn't get away with that.
The leg is Michael van Gerwen to throw first. Game on.
Neither player anywhere near their best. Michael van Gerwen is just, at the moment, and has been since the start, better than Michael Smith. He's going to be so disappointed if this just carries on, Michael Smith, because we know, you all know, he's got the game. He's just not producing it.
177.
Well, Van Gerwen here on throw, in command of this leg, and should he win it, he'll have won 14 legs to Smith's 7, which is precisely 2/3 of the legs played. That's how dominant he's been.
96.
But he's only manufactured 5 darts at a double more than Michael Smith. He's not been outscoring him. He's been out finishing him. And, of course,
99.
the timing.
I give 128.
doesn't need to tee up a bull out shot. I've already seen him hit the bull on a couple of occasions this evening.
96.
Leaves 32.
Ball left.
32.
He's relying on Michael Van Gerwen missing.
Catch on the third leg, Michael Van Gerwen. Fourth leg is Michael Smith to throw first. Game on.
Van Gerwen now within a leg of going 5-0 in front.
Michael Van Gerwen has never been behind in sets in this World Championship.
134.
But he hasn't had a whitewash yet either. And it would be absolutely, for Michael Smith, it would be devastating.
134.
Van Gerwen just runs right for the next 2 and a bit sets.
Well, Van Gerwen did lose the last big final he played. They won to Daryl Gurney in the Players' Championship finals, but prior to that, he'd won 14 consecutive TV rankings finals, going back to when he lost to Robert Thornton in the World Grand Prix October 2015. He doesn't lose many matches, he doesn't lose many finals. Bullseye for Michael Smith.
102. Michael Maguire, 170.
Oh, a big fish for the second time in the tournament. He'll go for it for the bull.
145. Michael Maguire, 25.
To save the set. It's all becoming a little bit desperate. Double 10. Got to work off it. Oh, that is a great dart. That really is. Okay, if Michael Smith wants to avoid going 5 sets down, he's going to have to break. But at least he's given himself a chance.
93.
It's the third set out of the 5 played that has gone to the 5th and final leg.
140.
Both it's 16 140s apiece now. That was important from Smith. Whoa!
59.
That's a mess. Smith has to jump all over that.
It's exasperating, isn't it? Because he knew the importance of that visit just as we knew and you knew too. And he didn't make anything like the most of it. And now the tornado arrives off the back. When you know that you cannot afford to miss, missing becomes a likely outcome.
Yeah. Van Gerwen now in control. Something he wasn't just 6 darts ago. Well, he slipped up again here. If Smith can hit his 8th 180, he'd leave tops for the set.
Well, Van Gerwen has made it slightly more awkward for himself by throwing at 19 with his last start. Well, 18 would have been a better target because the single would have left 120. But anyway, he has left a finish. No finish.
There's panic in Michael here as well, you know.
99.
This isn't just one-way panic. For the set.
14. The trouble leaves double 11. Yes! Michael Smith gets a set on the board. Is that the changing moment of this darts match? Michael Van Gerwen loses a set. He's not playing at his peak here. Michael Smith has shown that he has the bottle for the battle and now has a set on the board. Is it the start of something big? He's 4-1 down.
Put your back into it. They'll say you won't come on. Put your back into it. Don't want. Just try. It's on. Put your back into it. They'll say you won't come on. Put your back
Well, the comeback has to start somewhere, right? To win the set, and also to save the set, that 1-2-4. Michael Smith, yeah, there you are, there's the doubles. Just 35% on doubles, he's missed 17. Well, there's been 5 sets played, and Michael Smith believes that it could have been 5-0 to him. Do you agree with that? Michael Smith won't. Michael van Gerwen won't. He's 4-1 up, Michael van Gerwen. It was looking like he was going to go 5-0, but Smith pulled out that absolute perler of a finish, his highest finish of the match. Yes, it's still going to be an ordeal. It's still going to be a chore if Michael Smith is going to keep pegging Michael van Gerwen back. But Rodri, the comeback has to start somewhere.
Sixer first leg.
Well, he's a lot better being 4-1 behind than 5-zip, and he has got the darts here. He's had darts to win 2 of the sets. I'm not sure that even if he employed the best barrister in the United Kingdom, we'd find someone able to advocate that he should be 5-0 up. As that's 7 each on the maximum count. He could have been closer. Perhaps he should have been closer, but the fact is, this is what he's dealing with, a 3-set deficit. He's got the darts. If he can get back to 4-2, Van Gerwen isn't anything like the dominant Dutch darting juggernaut that we've seen on this stage, particularly in 2017 when he just demolished everything in his path. He's not playing at that level at all.
96.
And you just get the feeling that Van Gerwen here is pretty edgy about this. He knows all the pressure is heaped on his shoulders. If he fails tonight, he's going to get slaughtered.
Yeah.
And if he fails from 4-0 up, he's going to get absolutely taken to the cleaners by everybody watching. So the pressure's on Van Gerwen.
140.
Michael van Gerwen against Gary Anderson after 4 sets was averaging about 108, 109. This, after 5 sets, is an average of 103. He's playing nowhere near like he did in the semi-final, and Smith knows that he's going to create opportunities. Bullseye! A 1-2-4 to win the 5th set. A 1-2-7 to win the 1st leg. Yes, it was only hold or throw, but just keep winning legs. That's all Smith can do.
140.
Well, for 4 sets, it was a torrent of legs from Van Gerwen, but is the tungsten tide now beginning to turn in Michael Smith's favour? 4 finishes in the 120s, the 2 from Smith in the last 2 legs they've played. The 5th leg of the 5th set and the opening leg of the 6th.
140.
Things are looking brighter.
$133.
Michael leaving 1-3-2. Smith looking to leave 1-2-4. The shot he took out to win his only set. 57. Bullseye!
107.
Right, now Smith can hit this. Van Gerwen will be thinking, right, you're in a purple patch, are you? 42. Bullseye!
Good grief. 3 figure out shots in consecutive legs, back-to-back bullseye finishes. What's going on here?
It's the timing of them, Rod. It was the timing of the 1-2-4. The first one to win the set. Now he's 2-0 up in this, the 6th set.
57.
Crowd now in the game to some tune here. Van Gerwen now rattled.
117.
Well, Van Gerwen may look composed, but I'm telling you he's not. He will be thinking, what on earth?
Remember, this is the world's best player, a 2-time world champion, who was 4-0 up, now seems certain to be halved that advantage from 4 sets to 2, but he is still 2 in front, but he's not playing like a man who is 2 in front.
But he also had the darts thrown first to go 5-0 up. So from looking like everything was going his way, it's now going against him. Negatives.
99.
Michael Smith is now playing like the man who reached the final, averaging 110 in this set. He wants tops. He whitewashes Van Gerwen in that set. He blows him away. Start the next set. Spin the roulette wheel again. Let's carry on playing. This is a magical fight back. And suddenly Michael Smith is a man possessed.
And the difference now is the darts are hanging in and not falling out. Everything's changed, fortune's changed, his form's changed. And Michael Van Gerwen has been found wanting for now. At 4-0 down, Michael Smith's darts were falling out. Now they're hanging in. And Van Gerwen, even though he's leading 4-2, he's hanging on.
Well, way back when at the Circus Tavern in 2007, Phil Taylor had the early jump on Raymond van Barneveld, was threatening to whitewash him. Barneveld produced one of the greatest comebacks. Can Michael Smith emulate it? He wants 12 for the bull. Double 13 off the treble. This time he misses. That could have been a crucial miss.
Yeah.
Would have been for a 12-dart leg, by the way. Van Gerwen re-establishes authority and control, which he was in danger of losing.
That was relief for Michael Van Gerwen. That was the end of a run. 5 legs on the bounce for Michael Smith.
140.
The kind of darts he's throwing now is what we saw in the semi-final, in the quarter-final, what we've seen from Michael Smith for the majority of this event.
93. $140.
21st 140.
$96.
In control of this leg. Doesn't need to go for the 54.
$62.
Well, Michael Smith has brought the heat to Van Gerwen in the last 2.5 sets. He's got to keep applying it. He's got to keep the blowtorch on full. That's great. Another leg. And that isolated Van Gerwen leg that you mentioned, Wayne. He's still only won 1 out of the last 7.
Yeah. The MVG Raw.
$49.
Van Gerwen will feel that he hasn't had any kind of respite for the last few sets. Don't forget, the set to win 4-0, to go 4-0. Michael Smith had darts to win that set, so that wouldn't have been easy mentally for Van Gerwen. So for the last 3 and a bit sets, he's been under it here.
In fairness to Van Gerwen, he is producing his best darts of the match right now, isn't he?
Yes, it's brilliant.
Three legs into this set, he's averaging 118 in this set, and there's a chance here for another 11-darter off the back of 50, double 16, double 8, and he's got plenty of time here. Those misses won't matter.
$100.
Leaves a 158. We're not expecting Michael Van Gerwen to miss double 8, and doesn't.
Michael Van Gerwen. For black, Michael Smith to throw first. Game on. $60.
Error.
Looking to do something unparalleled and come from 4 sets down. Mentioned Barney from 3 down. Taylor came from 3 sets down, 4-1 down. He was to Kevin Painter in that epic at 2004.
Kevin Painter, I just mentioning him, he's the last 10th seed to reach a world final. Michael Smith being the 10th seed.
140.
Well, is this the set in which Van Gerwen resumes normal service?
81.
Is his best set statistically just when he was at his most threatened, just when Smith was really putting it up to him.
56.
Michael's switching sometimes just lacks thought. He was on 2-6-4. If he goes downstairs and misses the 19, which he did, he couldn't leave a finish. But he got let off there. Smith doesn't want to start playing poorly on his darts and give this man a leg up. That's the last thing he needs.
Michael 112.
Looking for a treble. Finds one. Double 16. That is the set. Michael Van Gerwen wins that set. He's now 2 sets away from a place, in history of winning 3 Sid Waddell trophies. Absolutely incredible. Smith was fighting back. Van Gerwen wins that all-important 7th set for him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, numbers jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, numbers jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, numbers jump.
MVG is just 2 sets away from winning the Sid Waddell Trophy for the 3rd time. There's been some moments in the last few sets that Michael would have been thinking, oh dear. The unlikely event of him getting beat was becoming more and more realistic as Smith was looking like he was going to go 5-0 down in sets. Instead, went 4-1, then 4-2. But Van Gerwen, averaging 106.98 in that, the 7th set, is now 3 sets clear at 5-2. It's not been vintage by either, but that's not what the World Final is about. It's reaching 7 sets. That's what matters.
135.
Yeah, it's very easy to get carried away watching a sports match when there's a comeback on, swept along by the tide of it all, and it's great fun to surf those waves as there's a fight back. But the one person that cannot afford to get carried away on the surfboard is the guy who was leading, and in this case Michael Van Gerwen, and he did not get carried away with what Michael Smith was doing. In fact, quite the opposite. He played his best darts in that 7th set and stemmed the tide and re-established a 3-set advantage. In and amongst all that whirlwind stuff from Michael Smith, that was impressive from Van Gerwen.
Yeah, very much so. He just kept Smith quiet for the first time in a few sets. The crowd were becoming buoyant. They're becoming very supportive of Michael Smith. Van Gerwen has not only kept Smith quiet, but also the crowd.
No finish here though for MVG. So Smith now trying to restart the fight back. Double 18. Double 9. This has been his favourite double this week, and even that's gone wrong.
No score.
He was hitting double 9 all the time in the semi-final against Nathan Aspinall. Oh, that appeared to be in just briefly, and it's not. Neither of them are in point of fact.
That was a huge let-off. If Smith misses this double 18, has to be high. Like that. Oh, he's not going to get unlucky, is he? No, he is not. It was a great last start. Needs another sustained spell like he did from 4-0 down, Michael Smith, and then who knows? It'll get interesting, that's for sure.
A repeat of the Premier League final when Van Gerwen beat Smith at the O2 11 legs to 4, averaging 112.37. It has not been that kind of darting dominance from the Dutchman as you see from the figures. And even then, Smith, who was being buffeted about like a ship in the storm at the O2, still managed to play some decent stuff and nick legs. So he will not roll over here. Van Gerwen will have to win. Smith won't just hand it to him. Good third dart, but leaves double 10.
Michael Smith knows he was first in this set.
Easy set.
So losing this leg is not a disaster. Hasn't lost it yet. Hasn't lost it yet. Chance. Normally starts on the 57. 57, 57, 24. Well, that's unlucky. 60 to leave tops, gets it.
Will he miss another 3? No.
Well, those were concerning times for Michael. He missed combination 52 in the leg before that, and then started missing 3 and 4 there. That would have been, hold on, I'm not going to have a little patch of not being able to finish on the outer ring, am I?
134.
Smith failing to hit a treble when opening. Needs at least another. Another! Oh yeah!
180.
edges ahead in the maximum battle, but it's the match battle that's of paramount importance. And the throw here under huge pressure here. And Gerwen, with two treble visits, has seized control.
Smith there, is it a treble and 2 singles and not left the finish off of 264? You've got to start leaving shots off that. You can't just go for the wrong treble open. You're going to hit 2 of them. Set-up play is as important as any play.
Well, a big 93 here. Will he go bull or will he go directly at the treble? The confidence of Smith will go for the treble. Can't find it now. He's got to find a treble 18. Double 10. Yes. Well, he gets out of jail with a 93 out. Oh, plenty of players would have gone bull there. The safety route. Wasn't interested in that. He was aggressive. He wanted 2 at a double. Still got 1, and 1 was all he needed.
Well, he took out that 93 against Nathan Aspinall in the semi-final, didn't he? 57, OK, 18, and then double 9. As a professional darts player, you've got to back yourself to hit a treble with 2 darts. This is getting tricky for Michael van Gerwen.
Yeah, we're reaching a crucial stage here. You just feel that this match is teetering on a tightrope here. It could go one way and Smith could be right back in and amongst it here and suddenly get 5-3 and 5-4, and then it really is game on. But on the other side of it, it could go the other way and Van Gerwen could go 6-2 up and then roll him over 7-2. We really are on a tightrope in this darts match.
Yeah, completely agree.
And the tightrope will be the 5th leg of the 8th set, won't it?
Yeah.
Who is going to be able to keep their balance?
But that's when Michael Smith has to realise and think, I have the darts. I will be thrown first. I have the leg up. I have the help.
100. Michael Goff,
18 for tops to send it into that aforementioned last leg. There it is. Now then, Michael Smith. This is the big leg. This is the big moment. The whole destiny of the final could depend on this leg.
59.
And you just get the feeling that Smith knows it.
130.
So does Van Gerwen, doesn't he? Look at him.
Incredible switching under that scrutiny, knowing you need them. Smith has buckled. Smith has buckled. He is livid with himself.
Switching again to great effect. 3 treble 19s have made the difference in this leg of darts.
There have been many moments in this tournament so far where Smith has been asked questions and he's had the answers.
140.
Well, Michael van Gerwen, oh, listen to that. Michael van Gerwen in a leg of this magnitude has not hit a treble 20, but he hit 5 cover 19s.
92, 154.
This time it eludes him. So does the treble 20. So does the treble 19. Now things have just got very, very interesting. Because even if Smith doesn't take this out, if he can leave himself a 2-darter or a single darter, he's right in it. Forget that, he wants the ball. Oh my! That would have been the moment of magic that turned the final. Will he be back?
Will he be back? Double 16. Both players of this starts to win the set. Huge moment, huge moment. 5 for double 10. For 5-3. Double 5 now.
20.
Did the first 5 hinder him, Rod? I wonder.
32, thank you.
Double 8. That could be the dart that puts him on the pathway to a third world title. Michael Smith missed the ball. He then missed a dart at double 10, a dart at double 5. Any of them could have closed the gap to 5-3. The gap extends. Van Gerwen leads Smith 6-2.
Michael Smith missing a bullseye for a 170 to win the set, and then missing double 10 and double 5. Van Gerwen showing all the relief of a man that was under all kinds of pressure. Michael Van Gerwen is a set away from winning the World Championship for the third time. The scoreline is 6-2. It's quite flattering in Michael Van Gerwen's case, because Michael Smith has had darts at a double to win 4 of the last 5 sets. They've gone 2 apiece, but when you're 3-0 down, 4-0 down actually, it's crucial that you win those big legs. Michael Van Gerwen has won more big legs than Michael Smith. Smith has had moments of absolute brilliance, but that 170 rod that he missed to win that set, that could have changed everything.
Yeah, not only that,
60.
the mopping up operation didn't go as planned, did it? And
No.
it could so easily have been 5-3. It's not, it's 6-2.
134.
We're seeing a Michael van Gerwen here, an edgy Van Gerwen, not the dominant Van Gerwen of 2017's World Championship, but now he looks to extend away and put the match to bed. Before the tournament, in interview, Van Gerwen said, people say you always get judged on World Championship. It's not only the World Championship, it's every tournament combined. It's not that, Michael, is it? It's not that. And everything he's done tonight has shown that it's not that. It's about World Championships.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to be judged on. And his disappointment, despair, if you will, when he's been knocked out of this great championship over years gone by, has shown that.
.69 left, may go 45 or 57. He's trying to leave 24, he's in control of this leg.
And he will, if he converts this into a win, move into an even more elite group than he is with his 2 world titles. Tops for Michael van Gerwen. And Van Gerwen now 2 legs away from a 3rd world title, putting him into the group that we mentioned before, including John Part and Martin Adams and John Lowe, and players that have won more than that. Anastasia with 3 in the women's worlds. Players that have won more than 3. Ashton, Gulliver, Barney, Bristow, Taylor with that amazing 16. But I think his next target is Raymond van Barneveld's 5, isn't it? But that's for another discussion and another day. This is about trying to get this job done here for Van Gerwen, and it's been a rocky road mid-match for the great Dutchman.
And if you're Michael Smith, all you can do is just carry on, see how many legs you can accumulate, and hopefully it's another set, then another set. But what you can't do is think of it, I need to win the next 5 sets. You start thinking like that, you'll quickly go insane. Needs another one, you think?
100. Likely 167.
Treble 19 would have left the bull.
99. Likely 110.
I'm just getting the feeling that Van Gerwen has regained composure. Okay, you're thinking 4 sets up, yeah, easy to do. Look, he's looking to win a world championship here. There's nothing normal about that.
Tops. Well, I'm sure he was going 16 for double 16 then anyway. An accidental 8, still left a shot at double top, which he missed. Smith wants double 10 off an accidental tops, and a comedy of errors ends with Michael Smith levelling up the set at 1 apiece.
It's a leg where Van Gerwen started 177. And that's a leg where Michael Van Gerwen started max. It's 11-10 to him in that personal battle.
59.
You really can feel the tension here. A lot of people thinking that Van Gerwen is going to win it soon. But some also thinking that, hold on, hasn't won yet. What way is it going to go? I thought you were absolutely bang on, Rob, when it was 5-2. What way was it going to go? Is it going to go the Van Gerwen way, or is Smith going to mount an improbable comeback from 4-0 down? Smith looking a little beaten here.
Well, he's certainly going to be within 1 leg of defeat after this one, barring multiple missed starts at double from Michael Van Gerwen, who comes back for double 16 to go 2-1 up in this set. The set he hopes will be the last of this match. That's the last of that leg, and Van Gerwen now 1 leg away from standing on top of the world of darts again.
Smith just ploughing on. If he does lose, which is most likely for Smith, he will be absolutely devastated. But he knows that if he just carries on doing what he's doing in the world of darts, there will be more opportunities for him.
57.
Well, it hasn't been a year when Van Gerwen has collected trophies like we're used to, but he still won the World Cup with Van Barneveld, the Premier League, the World Grand Prix and the Masters, and now he's going to win the one that really matters, the big one, the World Championship.
Credit to Smith for hanging in and hanging on.
27.
MVG off the 180, 134, the 137 Forters.
92. 160.
Or was he just waiting to finish with some fireworks? No. Leaves double 10.
Michael Unicorn 72.
16. Tops! That is magnificent! That is absolutely magnificent from Michael Smith in his first ever World Championship final. Saves it! Then who knows?
Well, was it delaying the inevitable, or was it something of more significance from Michael Smith?
140.
Because the coronation party was preparing itself, and I was as guilty as anybody of
41.
falling into that trap. It seemed all over 2 legs ago, didn't it?
Winning isn't easy.
60.
And you're seeing a winner, MVG, struggle to get over the line.
Well, this could be one of these situations where he goes from being 1 dart away from winning to a whole set away from winning.
Yeah.
That could happen here. Oh, Michael Smith slips, but does at least find something with his last dart.
This is outrageous, the tension. He's found a treble.
96. Michael 122.
This could be to stay in the championship. Double 7! Oh, and it would have been for a 4th finish in the 120s from Michael Smith. No, he can't find a treble with either dart, but Michael Smith, of course, has been left awkward from double 7. Awkward indeed. Can he hit it?
Can he hit it? Yes, he can! Michael Van Gerwen is now back to 3 legs away from winning the World Championship. Michael Smith has now had darts to win 5 of the 9 sets played. The scoreline could have been so different. But full credit to Michael Smith here. At one point in that set, he was looking beaten, he was looking dejected. But there's one thing he never did, and that was ever give up. You don't get to World Championship finals if you can't fight.
Well, on 2 occasions in this match, Michael Smith has found himself 4 sets adrift at 4-0 and 6-2 behind. But he's still up there on the stage, punching.
134.
He said he would never give up. Never, ever give up.
94.
Fantastic. World-class treble 19 hitting from Van Gerwen, forcing Smith to take out the 170, which we've seen wired tonight.
57.
by both players.
30. 20. Double 16. What a finish that was.
12 darts away against the darts just after seeing Smith hit double 7 to keep the match going at 6 sets to 3.
171, then the 62. That's how you break through.
Brilliant again from Van Gerwen when threatened. Goodness me, back he comes again, Michael Smith. And Gerwen cannot quite get rid of him.
No. No matter how used you are to winning world titles is so difficult.
57.
He's faltered again. What can Smith do? Got to go back upstairs looking for a 60 to leave a shot.
Well, if anything's made the difference at the back end of this match, when Van Gerwen has started to stumble and stagger, it's his treble 19 hitting. And it's not going to make much difference in this leg unless he's got the biggest finish of the match up his sleeve, and he hasn't. So Smith now can level up the match in this set, level up the set.
Tops now. Double 10.
39.
There's 28 darts at a double.
16 again. 2 singles for the double.
Game's on the second leg, Michael Van Gerwen.
And Van Gerwen now, again, on the cusp of victory.
Third leg, Michael Smith.
As Michael Smith's Achilles heel on his favourite double has returned to haunt him.
Game on.
Just watching Michael, he really thinks that he's making hard weather of this. Took out 62 in the first leg of the set and 64.
96.
We know that if Smith can turn it on just for 2 or 3 minutes, he can easily rattle off a set. Van Gerwen has let composure
92.
when he sees that finishing line. He did it in the last set. What will happen in this?
180.
Oh, that's a 13th maximum, and it could be unlucky for Smith. It's 13 all, actually, in maximums. Puts him potentially half a dozen darts away from the World Championship, Van Gerwen. Potentially.
He'd love another. Oh, he would love another.
120.
That is extremely unlucky. That really is.
147.
Maybe to save the match. We shall see. Can Michael Van Gerwen click this 109 for a third world title?
Treble 19. Leads double 16.
77.
Match start goes.
Michael Gerwen 58.
Match start goes. Tops for Smith.
Game's on the third leg.
Match start. Gone.
Fourth leg, Michael Van Gerwen to throw first.
When will the next come? Will the next come?
Yeah, will there be one?
Well, there will if Van Gerwen has got anything to do about it, because he responds again to the bitter disappointment of missing a match start to counter with the maximum opener in this set, averaging 110 Van Gerwen when he needs it most.
Smith refusing
59.
to just wilt and give away the set. Van Gerwen now knows
58.
that he's in control. Well, he should switch away.
130.
Again, 2 57s land. He has been absolutely brutal on that 57 tonight.
85. Michael, you got 128.
Well, he leaves double 16, and he will have at least 3 more match darts. He's missed one.
100. Michael,
But now
32.
he's got 3 in hand at his favourite double.
Okay.
And for the 3rd time, Michael van Gerwen is crowned King of Darts. But boy, Michael Smith made him battle all the way. The most brilliant and talented player of his generation, Michael van Gerwen, wins the crown again, but that was hard work and hard graft for the great Dutchman. It did not come easy tonight, but the title has come anyway. His 3rd world crown at the Alexandra Palace.
And let's just spare a thought for Michael Smith, competing in his first ever World Championship final. Yes, he will be bitterly disappointed, but Michael Smith has to believe this is the first of many. And you can only hope and assume that he will come out on top one day. But Michael van Gerwen, he adds the 2019 World Championship crown to 2014 and 2017. He is a 3-time champion of the world. He comes for Alan Tabern, Max Ott, Adrian Lewis, Ryan Joyce, Gary Anderson, and now Michael Smith. What a wonderful event it's been, and it ends with the world's best player, the pre-tournament favourite, the Green Machine, Michael van Gerwen, winning number 3. Michael Smith, just congratulating Michael there. Michael Smith has shown class beyond class to reach this final. Let's just go to John McDonald for the presentation.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. An absolutely incredible final. And now it's time for our presentation. Would you please welcome the chairman of the Professional Darts Corporation, Mr. Barry Hearn. And on behalf of our title sponsors, the head of media and sponsorship, Mr. Liam McKee from William Hill. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our runner-up receiving £200,000 and his trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, what a player, the bully boy, Michael Smith! Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for, our winner, receiving £500,000, the magnificent Sid Waddell Trophy, and for the 3rd time in his career, would you please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the William Hill World Darts Champion, it's MVG, Michael Gerwen!
Well, Michael van Gerwen has his hands on that trophy again. Michael, many congratulations. Well done and well played on a terrific tournament. You got your hands back on the Sid Waddell Trophy. Just sum up how that makes you feel.
It have made me feel it's the best feeling where you can have. I worked for this so long, and everyone know I had maybe a difficult year. I played good, but I still performed what I could have done. and then to win this trophy on the end of the year is phenomenal. That's the most important thing for me. There's nothing higher for me after this. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, of course the family, but first, but it's insane. This means a lot to me.
This is the big one, as if you just said it, and it showed tonight, because even though you went 4-0 ahead, it was very hard work, and you seemed a little bit edgy, more edgy than normal. Was it because of the importance of the match?
Yeah, the importance of the match. I was a little bit nervous, of course. Not nervous, but my body was pumping the adrenaline through my body, and I wanted to do better than what I could have done tonight. But Michael is a phenomenal player, and I didn't want to give him anything to give back to me. And it was a difficult game, but on the end of the road, it doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win. That's the most important thing.
You know that Michael would never give up, and he certainly never gave up in that match, did he? Made it very hard for you.
He always makes it hard for me. But he's a good player, and we all know that. And one day he will lift this trophy as well, because he's got so much talent in his body. It's unbelievable. But I'm really glad I could stop him today.
Thanks for talking to us, Michael. Come back in a minute. Just want to have a quick word with Michael Smith, as we always do. Thank you. Michael, come across. Listen, Michael, first of all, congratulations on a fantastic tournament and appearing in your first World Championship final. Just sum up your emotions for us at this time, if you could.
I just didn't get going, but I still had the chances. I had the 4 darts double 12, 2 darts double 10, and I lost 7-3. If I would have took them chances, it was 5-all. And I'm more annoyed at myself that I didn't get going then. There was one set where I felt like I'm going now, the 1-2-4, the 1-2-7, won the set, and I died off again. I kept looking at the trophy, but this guy said that belongs to me, and I think I tried that way too much, but it's my first one, and I can guarantee it will be my last, and I will lift that trophy.
It's often said that you need, in all sports, you need to lose a final before you can go on to win one, and hopefully that'll be true for you, obviously. But no one's ever come from 4 sets behind, and yet you threatened to do that. There was that brilliant patch, as you said, with those bullseye finishes, and 1 or 2 doubles here and there, and it could have been real game on 5-4 or something like that, couldn't it?
Yeah. I just kept saying if Michael was going to win it, make him work for it. I know I kept missing, but he was getting set after set after set. But then towards the end, I thought, no what, make him, if he wants to win it, make him work for it. Make him work for it. And I was following his scores sometimes, and then he started to drop off, and then I dropped off of him. I was like, come on, step up. Make him earn this title. I'm sorry I didn't put on a better show, but I'm gutted at the minute, and I just don't know what to say. It's like my first chance. I didn't win it. It will be my last, and I'll make sure on the next one I will.
Look, you've got nothing to apologise for. You've treated us with some great entertainment over the last couple of weeks, Michael, obviously. And listen, on behalf of everyone here in Sky Sports, we wish you, Dagmar, and your friends and family a fantastic wedding at the weekend. I hope that really goes well for you.
Thank you, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Top man. Quick final word to the champion. Listen, Michael, I know you wanted to win this for a 3rd time. This is the 3rd time. That puts you up to an even more elite group. Is the target now the great Dutchman Raymond van Barneveld's 5 World Championships? Is that something you're looking at now?
I think no one was in doubt I was not going to get that amount of world title, but I only had to do it myself, and all the pressure on my shoulders, but this feels as a great relief on my shoulders. Sounds good, isn't it? 3-time world champion. I shouldn't even have more, but this is a really important one for me, trust me.
I'm sure you will have more as years go by, but it is a magical feeling, isn't it, to be out here and all the people singing your name and to win this great trophy.
It's amazing. I worked for this so long, all the year, and I had some phenomenal games in this tournament. I beat Aidan Lewis, Gary Anderson, Michael Smith, Max Hopp. That was phenomenal for me, but yeah, what do you want more? After this tournament, there's nothing more. Yeah. I think I need to go on holiday now. I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, you've earned it, Michael, and you've earned the right to pick that trophy up once more. You are the world champion for the 3rd time. We congratulate you again. Mighty Michael van Gerwen.
trophy. He is a world champion again. And what an honour it is to have him champion of our sport, Wayne.
Yeah, he's been the flag bearer for the last 3 or 4 years, but actually kind of at the top for that long as world number one. You kind of got the feeling that, and what Michael was saying, that was an important win for me. He's dominated for so long now that only two world titles just didn't feel enough. Yeah. Now it feels like he's getting there, and I just feel like the dominance that he's kind of, the way he's dominated the sport, winning 18 events last year, 24 the year before. I kind of think that this can't be the end of his run, can it? He has to accumulate more than 3, surely.
John, an elite group of 3-time world champions, you're one of them. What does it mean?
Well, in his case, I think it's just, it's grounded him to where he's the world number one for so long now. It's what he should be doing in his mind. I think so. It wasn't as lofty maybe as for me doing it as a craziness that I thought of, but for him that's what it should be. He's made this world right now, and he's hoping that he can spin this into a whole new level of dominance going forward, because really 2018 wasn't his year. He had the Premier League and a couple other things, but there's so many things more he wanted to achieve, and I think now he can springboard into being the real top-class tiger, mauling everyone on just every time. That and people should be afraid now what this has been created tonight.
So many ifs in that match. It could have been so different, couldn't it?
It could have been. I mean, we talked about it before the match, and the one thing Michael Smith couldn't let him do was get in front and dictate the game. And if you look at the averages, Van Gerwen was around 102, 104 for nearly the whole game. Smith was 6-7 points off all the time. And then when he did give himself a chance, he kept missing doubles. You know, in the final of the World Championships against the best player in the world, you just can't do that. That's not to say that Smith's had a great tournament anyway and getting there and giving himself the chances. But if you want to become the world champion, you have to take all them little chances, otherwise you're a runner-up.
We're going to have a quick break, but we're reflecting on 16 days of magnificent darts, talking more to the boys here and finding out who's in the Premier League as well.
This is the World Championship. This is the biggie. This is the one that counts.
Michael Van Gerwen shrugs off the walkway shenanigans.
What a shot to take the first set.
What a battle it was, but in the end the young Dutchman has done just enough.
Yes, he loves it. That's pretty ruthless.
We've had a bold blow.
It's a wasp. Tell you what, that was a nice little duck and dive there from Lewis.
How would you describe that move?
Waspish.
What a finish! He's brought the house down. Raymond van Barneveld is out! Exhibition shots! Tony Alcinas has just pulled off a famous victory!
The world champion, Rob Cross, is on the march again.
There'll be 3 players in the top 8 of the world left in the tournament.
The inevitable Michael Van Gerwen, big fish outshot. Oh, Ryan
standing for the encore. Well, what a roar from Van Gerwen there. Wants to snuff out the hopes right here and now.
Sporting comeback.
The red rose is blooming. Unbelievable.
What's a year to be a sports fan? 2019 on Sky Sports. Feel it all.
2019 is going to be a great year of sport. It kicked off with Michael Van Gerwen claiming his third World Championship title, 102.213 average. A 7-3 victory over Michael Smith. The emotion pouring out of him. Disappointment for Michael Smith. But a brave, brilliant battle from the 28-year-old from St Helens. Van Gerwen's the man who celebrates, though. Picking up the Sid Riddell Trophy for a third time. That look says it all, doesn't it? Fantastic scenes here at the Ali Pali. In a memorable 16 days. Confirmation, 7-3, Michael Van Gerwen beats Michael Smith. We know who's the world champion. Who's the Premier League? Laura Woods is talking to Barry Hearn.
Thanks, Clarky. That's right, the end of the world always means the beginning of the Premier League, and we will find out who the 10 players are that are in it this year. But before we do, let's just reflect on really what was a brilliant final there.
Well, I think we've had it all this year, Laura. We've had shocks, we've had surprises, we've had kids living the dream, you know, coming from nowhere into public perception. Luke Humphries, Chris Dobie, of course Nathan Aspinall. We've had shocks, lots of top seeds going out. The biggest prize money we've ever paid, the most number of countries around the world going live. 135 countries took this live. This is a seismic change in the world of professional sport as far as darts is concerned, as we become a truly global game.
It was a great move for Michael Smith to make it to the final, but he had so many chances, didn't he? It could have been so different.
Yeah, I mean, like everything else, you've got to do it. I mean, the pressure is enormous. I know that's a word that's sometimes overused, but Michael puts you under so much pressure, and when you get a chance, you've got to take it, or he will punish you. And Michael Smith missed a few chances, but he'll be a better player for it. He goes home sick, he's getting married on Saturday, he's going to have a lovely day. £200,000 in his back pocket is a nice wedding present, but he wants the 500. He said to me as he left the stage, maybe I won't win it until you make it $1 million. So he's thinking the right words, you know.
All right, well, we presume that the 2 finalists are in the Premier League. Let's have a little look at who else will join them. So it's 10. The top 4 automatically qualify, and we'll talk about the rest of them. Only really one change from last year. James Wade makes his way back in and Simon Whitlock drops out. But when we talk about the players that have made it in, did they pretty much pick themselves this year?
I think this year was probably one of the easiest years we've had. As you know, the top 4 seeds are automatic, so that's Van Gerwen, Cross, Wright and Anderson. The PDC have 4 picks, so naturally we went for the winner of the biggest tournaments. So Daryl Gurney won the Players' Championships, Gerwin Price, you know, won the Grand Slam. Obviously Michael Smith has got to the final of this major, and James Wade won the European Championships. Sky's 2 picks, they went for the German Masters champion Mensa Sulovic, who's a big crowd favourite, and of course in his retirement year, Raymond van Barneveld, the great man, makes his swan song tour of the country and Europe, saying goodbye after so many years of being at the top of the game.
We saw a lot of young players do very well in this tournament in particular. Nathan Aspinall, of course, Luke Humphries, Chris Dobie. How close were they to making their way into the Premier League this year?
I think in recent years that we've seen some players where the Premier League has actually undone them rather than done them good. And I felt, and I think the committee felt, that those players, whilst they've done something spectacular for this one event, need to have more consistency so that they don't get torn to bits, because the other guys are tough on that stage. What we will do with those players, I'm sure, during the course of the year, we will blood them into the system of World Series invitations so they get more experience and they're ready for the big stage. But now the gauntlet is down to those players. Say, go and do it again. You have to be a consistent winner to trade blows with the very cream of the crop. And they were close, but no cigar.
What about the events, the places that we're going to? We're going back to Exeter, also going back to Rotterdam as well twice. The event just keeps getting bigger and bigger, doesn't it?
I think the whole world's opening up for us because this is a game that's so easy to understand. It's played at a good pace, so you don't get bored with it. And there's no barriers to entry, so anyone, man, woman, child, fat, thin, black, white, Christian, Muslim, it's a level playing field. It's all about throwing a dart with accuracy and committing yourself, making sure that you make the most of your God-given talent. And what we're seeing is around the world, all these countries that have watched it can't quite believe, the fans especially, and they've developed this interest in darts, whether they play darts or not. So we are now becoming the people's choice of an easy to afford, no barriers to entry, entertaining sport that can be played at any level. And of course these guys are the cream of the crop. They play at an unbelievable level, but they've dedicated their lives to achieving that standard. And our job is to reward them for that dedication, which, with the new prize money levels and other events which we'll announce in the next few weeks, with prize money going up, it's a very good time to be a professional dart player.
The international players as well, we have to touch on the likes of Max Hopp and also Dimitri van der Berg, a back-to-back world youth champion. How close were they?
They were all in the mix, but they all probably need, for their own safety, they need one more year of sustainable growth and consistency so that when they get on the big stage at the Premier League, they're ready. Because we've seen in the past, and a few of the players that have been put in have said, I wasn't ready, and it's actually affected their career. These guys have got an amazing amount of talent, these youngsters, and there's a flood of them behind, all following in Rob Cross's footsteps of saying, it can happen, I can change my life. So we've got to be very careful how we do that. We can't throw them in the deep end before they're ready. But if they're any good, they'll be ready in 12 months. And I would predict, Laura, that I think this time next year, we're going to have a massive change in Premier League names, because these top players are going to be put under more and more pressure by these kids who want to change their lives on the hockey.
All right, Barry Hand, thank you very much. I think you've sold it to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon.
Great salesman. What about that Premier League lineup? Barney, controversial that he's in there?
Barry kept mentioning entertainment, sporting entertainment. The players that are picked because they're going to create competitive, entertaining darts week in, week out. And I kind of agree with parts with what Barry was saying about you start putting the youngsters in, they get beaten, and it's difficult. It really is. Me and John, we've played in Premier Leagues where sometimes it's gone well, but when it's not going your way, it's a brutal place to be. Those 10 players that are in it, they're kind of all tried and tested, even though there's a few in there that maybe didn't. Well, Gerwen Price actually said didn't want to be in it again. Yeah. Gary Anderson said he kind of wants a break. Michael Van Gerwen saying he's wanting a break. The thing is, look, you get invited into the Premier League, you take it. It's a big earning curve, not learning curve. It's a big earning curve. That's what it is for the players.
The Hops, Dimitri van den Berg's knocking on the door, but not quite ready yet.
Well, no, and there's just been too many victims. I believe Michael Smith even didn't get a great start in the Premier League, and Kim Huybrechts, the names are there. The Gerwen Price last year.
Mark Webster.
These all Mark Webster. Yeah, there's been too much damage done. I think it's a very valid point. Let Barney get in there. Let him try and rise up, and he's got the experience, and he can beat anybody on any given day. So that is entertaining.
Some very special nights. I mean, Barney in Rotterdam is going to be amazing.
Well, you know, that's obviously one of the reasons why Barney's in. I mean, we've got 2 in Rotterdam, Germany, in Berlin, and he is an entertainer. He hasn't played a lot of tour events over 2018, but, you know, Barney, it is his last year. He's going to retire after then, so it is his swan song, and we know that Barney could still turn up and make the playoffs because he's that good. Whether he does or not, we want to see him. We'd love to see it. But he is a great player and possibly deserves it when you look at the commercial side of it over who was behind him to take his place.
No more about the Premier League. You'll pick Van Gerwen to win this. He did. It wasn't a bad final, was it?
It was a good final. Unfortunately, the stats kind of lie in this. It says that Michael Smith had 40% on doubles, which he did. But for the first 4 sets, his doubling was woeful. And that's where Michael Van Gerwen got away. From 4-0 up, which it could have gone 3-1, Michael Smith had darts to win 5 of the last 6 sets and could only muster 3 of them. Now, that's fine. That's not a bad return. It's 50%. But when you're 3-0 down, that's a darting disaster. And it was for him. He didn't play great compared to what he had been playing, but he will see it as, right, I've blown an opportunity, but he's got to also see it as it's got to be the first of many times to give himself an opportunity. I thought he acquitted himself well.
Will Michael Smith walk away from this and go home and say, if only?
Well, he spoke earlier in the tournament about his mother making him watch the matches he loses, and he's not going to enjoy watching this one very much at all. Early in the match, to go down 4-0, he shouldn't have been. And then even coming back, he had opportunities. It could have been one of the greatest comebacks ever. There's no reason. He has the talent. He'll learn a lot when he watches back from this, and I think he'll be back stronger than ever.
Van Gerwen, 3rd world title. How many is he going to win?
10, dozen. I think as long as he keeps hungry. Sometimes money in sport or any business can spoil you. Didn't for us 3, by the way. But, you know, for Michael, he's going to accumulate an awful amount of money. The way the game's growing commercially worldwide, you know, he's in demand for a big price. So as long as he can keep hungry, not worry about the money, keep the titles, 10 or 12, no problem at all. I mean, he's at the moment, he's got that edge over everyone. You know, people can topple him at times, but not consistently. Look what he's done over the last 2 years. Look how many tournaments he's won the last 2 years. Amazing amount. If he had lost this, he would have seen the whole last year as a total failure and gone for it again this year. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think he'll get to Phil, but he may get close.
Cheers, boys. Lots to keep you entertained on Sky. On Wednesday, Premier League Live, Newcastle versus Man United from 7:30, and a huge game on Thursday, Man City versus Liverpool from 7 p.m. And this is one to entertain you. Escape at Dannemora is on Sky Atlantic. All episodes available now. And the Premier League 2019 all gets underway February the 7th, 17 nights. It's going to be fantastic. Cheers, boys. We've had coughs and colds and flu. You can have a lie down now. It's been a brilliant tournament. Great fun. Thanks for your company over the last 16 days. Magnificent. Tournament of shocks and surprises, but the world number one shows why he is the world number one. Good night.